You're watching WSBT 22 News, first at 4.
Tornadoes tear through central Indiana, leaving incredible damage in their wake. The National Weather Service has confirmed 11 tornadoes hit the state yesterday, and that includes a powerful EF3, which hit Kokomo. Amazingly, no one was killed or severely injured in this, but these storms have definitely left their mark on portions of the state. We begin first at 4 here with team coverage on these storms. I want to start with WSBT 22 meteorologist Ed Russo. He's live in Kokomo. And Ed, you are seeing just some incredible damage out that way.
Yeah, Jen, it's absolutely just crazy what's happened here. I mean, look at the roof to this home. This is one of the hardest hit areas on the south side of Kokomo. This is F3 damage because we have some walls of this house, exterior walls, that have completely collapsed. And notice this record player right here hasn't moved, but we have the ceiling fan, which is completely collapsed to the floor. There's other stuff in here where you literally don't know where it came from. And I want to show you something that's very interesting. This is an interior hallway. So we're walking through an interior hallway. Here's an interior bathroom, okay? Now we're headed to a room that's on the exterior of the house. This is where you do not want to be in a tornado on a home with the first floor because you leave yourself exposed. This right here, again, we're walking back through the interior hallway. This is why it's safe to be in an interior room, interior hallway in a tornado, because you will have the most walls still standing around you. You'll be protected. And this is what we always tell people whenever there's a tornado moving through, interior room, lowest floor. That theory was put to test in this very house. And the owners, which thankfully weren't even here, would have survived, most likely, if they were in an interior room or bathroom. Just unbelievable devastation here. This house is a copy of many other houses that look just like this across the neighborhood. And coming up on WSBT 22 News at 5 and 6, we're going to hear from some of those survivors that went through some of the terrible destruction that we saw yesterday. Live in Kokomo, I'm WSBT 22 First Alert meteorologist Ed Russo.
And again, no deaths there, but that is chilling to see so many lives turned upside down there. We're getting a better look at the scope of the damage in Kokomo and the surrounding area. Here's a closer look at what happened when those storms hit.
I just heard thunder and rain. I didn't know what was going on, and I just looked out and went, oh my.
The massive EF3 twister barreled through the city of Kokomo. Frightened customers inside this restaurant watched as the powerful winds leveled a Starbucks.
Oh my God, Starbucks just got blown over.
No one inside was seriously hurt.
All of a sudden I heard a loud bang, and I looked up at my ceiling and it actually caved in.
Witnesses say it took just seconds to tear apart the Park Place apartments. Kathleen Marsh took cover in her bathroom.
It blew my window out, and then that was it. I just ran downstairs. I was just so scared.
Hundreds of people were forced out of their homes in Howard County, and more than 35,000 people were reported without power across the state.
We'll be here as long as we need to be to make sure that...
Stepping away from the campaign trail, Indiana Governor and Republican Vice Presidential nominee Mike Pence said it was remarkable that no one was seriously injured.
I want to say Hoosiers are breathing a sigh of relief after a very tough day of weather, but there's a lot of hurting families out there. And I encourage every Hoosier to remember these communities in their prayers.
That line of storms also pushed through northwest Ohio. Police report scattered damage in the area, but no reports of any injuries. Chief Meteorologist Matt Rudkin tracked those storms yesterday as we were here. And Matt, we had said earlier that the National Weather Service had confirmed 11 tornadoes, but that number likely will change, right?
Oh, it will most certainly go up. They go out and survey the damage to find the path of the tornado, the length of the path, the width of the path, how much destruction it did. These were storm reports, certainly more than 11 tornadoes symbols on here, right? So the National Weather Service will go out and go to each one of these reports and confirm if they are tornadoes or straight line wind. That number will likely go up, and this will probably go in the books as one of the top 10 biggest Indiana tornado outbreaks ever on record since records began in the late 1800s. This is what everybody wants to see today, right? Storm tracker radar is all clear. Here's a live look out in Dowagiac where we're seeing some sunshine peek through the clouds. Temperatures right around 80 degrees there in Cass County. Some other temperatures in your hometown, 80 in Syracuse, 79 In Knox, it is 77 in Benton Harbor. Up in southwest Michigan, just a little bit cooler than the rest of us, most of you in the 70s right now. Here's a look at the forecast the next several hours. We'll actually see clouds start to decrease, maybe a shower or two from now through about 8 p.m. But eventually we'll go mostly clear by 11. Coming up in your forecast, we'll look ahead to the weekend in just a few minutes.
First, fast, accurate with Jennifer Copeland and Rick Shutt. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 5.
At least 11 confirmed tornadoes in central and northeastern Indiana. That is the latest from the National Weather Service as of now. And they're still investigating the possibility of more. Some of the worst damage is in Kokomo and Howard County. 4 tornadoes hit there, including an EF3 with winds of at least 158 miles an hour. At this point, there are no reports of any serious injuries, though. We have team coverage of the storms. Chief Meteorologist Matt Rudkin has been in contact with the National Weather Service all day. Molly Jurasek has the latest from the governor as he toured the area. But I want to begin with meteorologist Ed Russo. He's live in Kokomo surveying the damage there. And Ed, the damage that you are seeing is just devastating.
Yeah, Jennifer, it's absolutely incredible. I'm on the south side of Kokomo, and one of the homes that's been damaged the most. Look at the roof, completely gone, and notice all of the debris scattered about the room, including this fan that fell from the ceiling. Many homes in the area with the same fate. Today was the day where a close-knit neighborhood came together, helping one another clean up after the storm. Homes torn apart, businesses destroyed, trees flattened, and people displaced from their homes. The buzz of chainsaws were echoing all day long, replacing the unforgettable sound heard going through this neighborhood just 24 hours ago, a noise that came with destruction.
Their shed that was in that back platform over there, the back cement platform, is now over here in my yard. So
I heard this huge thud, and I heard the glass breaking, and I knew I'd been hit.
And all of a sudden you heard, whoa, just a roar.
Grabbed my son, jumped over my bed and into my bathtub, and that's when everything, I just heard a big crash.
I mean, we all survived, so I'm happy about that. So.
And notice the exterior wall behind me. This was one of the outside rooms, and we always tell people interior room, lowest floor of a home, and this is why this particular room would have been in one of the worst spots. Check out the interior hallway. Interior hallway, walls remain standing. As I walk further back, notice interior room, interior bathroom, walls still standing. That's exactly why we tell you again, interior room, lowest floor, your chances of survival in a tornado increase significantly. I want you to check out this quote on the wall here. It says, "Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain." And I spoke with the people that live here, and trust me, they live by those words. Live in Kokomo, I'm WSBT 22 First Alert meteorologist Ed Russo. Back to you.
Wow, Ed, thank you very much. The governor canceled his vice presidential campaign appearances to tour the area today. He was joined by Senator Joe Donnelly. WSBT 22's Molly Jurasek is at the live desk with more on their visit. Molly.
Jennifer, Governor Pence says he'll stick around Indiana as long as he has to help. As you mentioned, he was joined by Senator Joe Donnelly. The two are determined to help get resources to those in need to rebuild the area, pointing to Indiana's resilient past when it comes to severe weather.
Twice in 3 years.
Kokomo's Mayor Greg Goodnight reflects on his area's past. His home, Howard County, has seen 18 tornadoes in the last 65 years. The last one just 3 years ago in November. He's glad this one spared lives.
Those are the good stories that come out of something like this.
Some stories, not so good. Kathleen Marsh lived in this now disheveled apartment.
It blew my window out, and then that was it. I just ran downstairs. I was just so scared.
Governor Mike Pence visited Kokomo, moved by stories like Marsh's.
To hear the stories, to speak to a man whose mother and sister were in a home that only has 2 walls still standing, and they came out. To me, it's just remarkable, and it's nothing short of a miracle.
He's also congratulating the early stage of the cleanup progress.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, we'll do.
Senator Joe Donnelly recalls the tornadoes in the area from 2013, 2005, and 2004.
This is one of the most
resilient, tough towns you'll ever find. We have had so many challenges years ago.
Donnelly says he's looking to see if there was enough damage to get help from Federal Emergency Management. I've been scanning Twitter all day, and lots of people are pitching in relief efforts. Kokomo's YMCA is offering showers to people. IU Kokomo students are helping cleaning up debris, and other mayors from Lafayette and Wabash are helping out. At the live desk, I'm Molly Jurasek, WSBT 22 News.
Matt, I know you've been in close contact with the National Weather Service. The number of tornadoes will probably rise.
It no doubt will. So here's the reports. These are the reports issued by you, by certified storm spotters, emergency management officials. And what the National Weather Service does is they go to these reports and verify what people reported as a tornado actually is. They look at the damage, they see if tree limbs and damage was twisted and not all in the same direction, which would then be straight line winds, and they verify all these. So let me step out of the way. Clearly, there's more than 11, right? So the Weather Service will go out, and they've already confirmed a few. See these two right here? These are EF3s in Allen County near Fort Wayne. This is the Kokomo one, so these are already confirmed. But there's several others they need to get out to in Indiana and also in Northwest Ohio. They got hit just as hard as North Central Indiana. And again, I have to stress, the reason nobody died and nobody was significantly injured was the National Weather Service in Indy and also ours in Northern Indiana, as well as the Indianapolis and Fort Wayne TV meteorologists worked as a team, and your family and friends at home listen to the warnings, and it saved lives. That Starbucks that you've seen so many pictures of, the manager there put everybody in the bathroom 20 minutes before the storm hit. And if you didn't do that, you saw Ed's video there, what happens, those exterior walls. So kudos to him and everybody else who listened to the warning, because you saved each other's lives, no doubt. Storm tracker radar, just what you want to see after an active weather day, is all clear. Here's a live look in Cass County. We haven't talked much about Michigan. We haven't forgotten about you. But luckily for you, that's a good thing when we're not talking about you. It means your weather's been quiet, not too active up that way. 80 degrees right now in Dowagiac. I'll have your weekend forecast coming up here in just a few short minutes.
First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 6.
It'll be okay. At least we're all here. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Tornado survivors speaking with Governor Mike Pence and other lawmakers as they tour tornado damage in Kokomo today. And there's a lot of damage to see that way. Homes and businesses across the central part of the state just leveled by the storms. We have team coverage tonight. I want to start with First Alert meteorologist Ed Russo, though he's live in hard-hit Kokomo. Ed, what's the latest there? I know you're just seeing a lot of devastation.
Yeah, we've moved from where we were previously. We're now in the parking lot of the Markland Mall, which is on the south side of Kokomo. And right behind me there, that is the Starbucks that was basically leveled. This kind of damage is easy to find all over the Kokomo area. People either lost their homes or their homes suffered severe damage. This neighborhood right behind the Markland Mall was badly hit. Debris from other properties scattered all over the place. As bad as these images look, everyone I've talked to still say they have what they value the most.
Our engagement pictures of my husband and I, and they were safe. I should be mad and I should be upset. I had in my possessions yesterday the most valuable thing. My husband was safe. You can replace stuff, you can't replace a life. And I had to learn that the hard way.
You hear so many stories like that have a good ending like that down here. It's still amazing that absolutely no one lost their life. Now look again at the Starbucks, and you notice where the bricks make a V. That's where the manager took his customers as the tornado was approaching to seek shelter. And that's another proof right there that the theory of interior room, lowest floor works as a tornado approaches. That manager made a good call. He saved the life of many, many people. As you can see, the front of the Starbucks completely flattened. Interior room, lowest floor, that's where he took his customers into the bathroom, and fortunately everyone survived. And that's a story you hear a lot down here. So that's the big success in the Kokomo area and across all of central Indiana into northwest Ohio. Live in Kokomo, I'm WSBT 22 First Alert meteorologist Ed Russo.
That is a wonderful success, Ed. We are also getting new information on damage in parts of northern Indiana. WSBT 22's Molly Jurasek continues our team coverage here in the studio. And Molly, Fort Wayne was also hit very hard.
Yeah, Jennifer, National Weather Service crews have been analyzing Allen County, where they say the damage looks like it came from wind speeds reaching almost 160 miles per hour. That was stronger than Kokomo's and rare for Indiana. Now here's some video we got from Fort Wayne. It looks like it's moving pretty fast. It's not something they see there often. The investigation process there is still preliminary, so we could see the tornado count go up. Right now, the total number across the state still stands at 11. Kokomo seeing a lot of power outages because of the tornadoes. It's affecting traffic too. If you plan on heading to Kokomo for any reason, look for traffic signals being out. Indiana State Police are there to make sure daily life continues smoothly. They're even checking IDs of those entering disaster areas.
The officers protecting those communities aren't necessarily aware who belongs there, so they're going to check IDs to verify that you're in the right place and that you indeed have business in these communities.
I also contacted INDOT to see how they're keeping up with the cleanup. A spokesman tells me they are assisting, putting in new signs, fixing broken lights, and trying to hook up traffic signals to generators until they get electricity back. Homeland Security says 5 major intersections are still on stop signs. Live in the studio, Molly Jurasek, WSBT 22 News.